Two weeks, you said? 2 weeks? Oh, you guys are actually going to give us a deadline. Oh, you guys are tired of us playing games with you. All right. The WNBA sets a deadline.
Did you hear that? 2 weeks. Adam Silver just walked into that Zoom call and told the WNBA players they've got 2 weeks to figure this out before the entire season gets pushed back. 2 weeks. After everything they've been celebrating after finally getting a taste of revenue sharing for the first time in league history, the rug just got pulled right out from under them. And honestly, this is where everything starts to unravel. Let me paint you the picture of what actually went down yesterday. The players were out celebrating, popping bottles, living their best lives, because for once, finally, they got to participate in revenue sharing. This was supposed to be their moment, their victory lap. Then boom, emergency Zoom call. Kathy Engelbert and the other owners are on the screen, and before anyone can even process what's happening, Adam Silver drops the hammer. March 10th deadline. Get it done or the season gets delayed. End of discussion. The emotional whiplash these players went through in a matter of hours is absolutely spectacular, and not in a good way.
You guys got 2 weeks to figure this shit out. Peace. The range of emotions that the players must have went through yesterday, nothing short of spectacular. From being on cloud 9, dancing on the moon, to 2 weeks, you said? 2 weeks?
That right there tells you everything you need to know about where the power actually sits in this negotiation. The players thought they had leverage. They thought the league needed them more than they needed the league. Wrong. Dead wrong. Because the second the owners got tired of the back and forth, tired of the threats about striking, tired of watching this drag on for over a year, they set a hard deadline. And not just any deadline, a deadline with actual consequences. Here's what people don't understand about the business side of this league. The WNBA has been bleeding money for years. We're talking hundreds of millions in losses, subsidized by the NBA. Then Caitlin Clark shows up, and suddenly everything changes. Viewership skyrockets, attendance numbers break records, sponsorship deals multiply overnight. The league finally has real momentum, real visibility, real commercial value for the first time in its history. And what do the players do with this golden opportunity? They overplay their hand. The Players Association went into these negotiations asking for a salary cap of over $9 million per team and a much larger share of league revenue. The league countered with $5.6 million per team. That's already a massive increase from where they were, but it's not enough. It's never enough, because the players aren't looking at the actual financial reality of the league. They're looking at the attention, the buzz, the packed arenas, and assuming that automatically translates to massive profits. It doesn't work that way.
Tired of this whole, oh, we're gonna strike if we need to. Owners are tired of it. Yeah, strike, whatever. Just take the deal or don't take the deal. We're kind of running out of patience here.
That's the owners saying the quiet part out loud. They're done negotiating in circles. They're done with the threats. Because here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to say. The players don't actually have the leverage they think they do. If you're the one asking for something, if you're the one making demands, you're not the one with the power. The owners control the league. They control the schedule. They control the revenue streams. And most importantly, they control whether there even is a season. According to ESPN's reporting, the league told the Players Association point blank that without a deal by March 10th, the 2026 schedule will be impacted. That's not a suggestion. That's not a negotiating tactic. That's a fact. The league needs to conduct free agency, an expansion draft for 2 new teams joining the league, and the college draft before training camps open in mid-April. The season is supposed to start May 8th. If there's no CBA by March 10th, none of that happens on time. Games get delayed. The schedule gets pushed back. And all that momentum the league just built? Gone. But here's where it gets even more ridiculous. The players are reportedly miffed by this threat. Miffed. They're upset that the owners actually set a deadline with consequences. They're emotionally charged, probably talking right now about going on strike just to prove they won't be bullied into signing something. And this is exactly the problem. This isn't about what's best for the league. This isn't about protecting the growth and capitalizing on the Caitlin Clark effect. This is about ego. The players would rather be the ones to initiate a work stoppage than let the league delay the season. They'd rather strike and frame it as taking a stand than admit they might have miscalculated their leverage. And if they do that, if they actually follow through on a strike threat right now, they could blow the entire opportunity sitting in front of them. Think about what's at stake here. 2 new expansion teams are joining the league. That means more roster spots, more opportunities, more national coverage. The college draft class is loaded with talent that fans are actually excited to see play professionally. Sponsorship deals are at an all-time high. Media partnerships are expanding. This is literally the best moment the WNBA has ever had in its 28-year history. And the players are about to fumble it because they can't get out of their own way.
They might blow it. All of the hurdles that they've overcome due to Caitlin Clark. Of all of the viewership that they now have, thanks to Caitlin Clark. Of all of the excitement surrounding the league, because of Caitlin. All of that might go bye-bye because they can't get out of their own way.
You hate to see it, but it's the truth. Caitlin Clark single-handedly changed the trajectory of this league. She brought in casual fans. She brought in corporate sponsors. She brought in eyeballs that had never watched a WNBA game in their lives. And now the very players who benefited most from that surge are the ones threatening to derail it. Let's talk about the cooking the books conspiracy for a second, because this keeps coming up. People keep saying the league is hiding profits, manipulating numbers, lying about losses to keep player salaries down. But here's what the actual CBA says, and this is directly from the document. After the submission of each league revenue report, the Players Association shall have the right to have its own representatives conduct or retain its own accountants at its own expense to conduct an audit of the books and records of the WNBA. The players have the right to audit the revenue. They've had that right for years. If the books were being cooked, don't you think somebody would have caught it by now? Don't you think the Players Association would have blown the whistle? And this is where the math just doesn't add up for the players' argument. They're acting like the league is suddenly drowning in profit just because attendance and viewership are up. But that's not how business works. The pie isn't bigger, the pie is more valuable. The slice you had before might not be physically larger, but it's worth more now. That's what revenue sharing is. That's what the increased salary cap represents. The players are already getting more money because the league is worth more, but they want an even bigger piece before the league has proven it can sustain this growth long term.
The Players Association are a bunch of entitled women who do not understand profit and losses in a business. Their demand for profit sharing based upon gross revenue is insane. I say let them strike and sit out and earn no money.
Now, I'm not saying the players don't deserve more. I'm saying they need to understand the actual financial position of the league before they make demands that could bankrupt teams and kill the momentum. The league claims the players' proposed structure would cause hundreds of millions of dollars in losses. If that's true, if teams start folding because the salary demands are unsustainable, what exactly did the players win? So here's where we are. March 10th deadline. 14 days from that Zoom call, either the players come to the table and finalize a deal that reflects both their value and the league's actual financial capacity, or the season gets delayed and all that Caitlin Clark buzz starts to fade. The 2026 rookies aren't playing for exposure anymore, sure. But they're also not playing at all if there's no season. This is team players versus team owners. This is ego versus economics. This is short-term demands versus long-term sustainability. And the clock is ticking. So let me ask you this. Do the players take the deal and protect the momentum? Or do they strike and risk losing everything they just gained? Drop your answer in the comments because this isn't just a negotiation anymore. This is the future of the entire league hanging in the balance.